We're going grocery shopping at Walmart today because I'm fucking broke, but the last time I was in an Aldi, I dropped all my food on the ground because I didn't have a quarter to pay for a cart, and long story short, it was really awkward and the staff saw it, and I don't want to go back to that location ever again. Grab some generic brand soy sauce because Kikkoman bottles are pretentious as hell, and soy sauce makes enough things taste good that it's worth the price to flavor your bland-ass poverty meals. We're getting kosher salt for a few reasons. For one, you can buy it in a big-ass box to keep the per-ounce price down, and two, it's a super versatile way to flavor food, and you're broke, so it's not like your food tastes that good to begin with. Three, it's really granular, so it's easy and fun to pinch onto your food, and Lord knows you need all the amusement you can get if you're going to try to cope with life under late-stage capitalism. And finally, we're getting kosher salt specifically because table salt tastes like metal. We're buying cooking spray mainly because oil is expensive, but also because it's a bit too easy to waste oil by pouring too much in, and watching the money you desperately need literally pour down the drain as you clean the pan later would probably cause just enough emotional pain to finally break you completely at this point. Also, you don't really need much oil to cook today's food, so making sure it doesn't stick to the pan is all we really need to do. Now go get some tomato soup. Whoa, slow the fuck down there, Warhol. No Campbell's for you. You'll buy the generic and you'll like it. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't afford a can that big. Get the small one. If you love sriracha but your shitty fucking wage slave job barely pays you enough to afford rent, pick this shit up. It's called Sambal Olek, and if you're like me and you have zero spice tolerance, this stuff will last you months because it's significantly hotter than sriracha. And the same people that make sriracha make this, which is, cool, I guess. If you want to be environmentally conscious but you're too poor to afford a reusable bag, some Walmarts actually do have paper bags. Just make sure to keep in mind that almost the entirety of climate change is generated by the top 1% of people, with 70% of emissions coming from only 100 companies. And while doing stuff yourself when you can is good, placing the onus of reversing climate change onto yourself as a consumer is exactly what the capitalists want you to do, so that they don't take the blame for the expedient decline of the planet's health which they're causing. Anyway, these things are in the freezer section for some reason, so make sure to grab them before you check out. I asked an employee what they were for though, and she didn't even know they existed, so for all I know this Walmart could be an anomalous store. The good news is the employees did all have faces, and I was able to leave out the front door, so if it is one, it's probably classified as safe, if that. This Walmart doesn't carry any tofu, cause, unlike what the capitalists told you, capitalism doesn't actually care about the convenience or experience of the end user and is interested solely in amassing capital at the expense of the laborer. So I gotta go to Ingles to get that. Sure am glad I had to pay 15 cents to buy tofu at a different store. If you're feeling a bit skeptical about that whole capitalism is bad thing, just note that any one of the members of the Walton family just have to exist for one single second, while also owning their inherited Walmart shares, in order to be able to buy 12 of these jackfruit burger things, while over 1 billion individual people would have to work for almost an entire week in order to barely afford one. Anyway, we're here to get tofu, so grab the firmest kind you can and throw it in the extra paper bag you technically stole from SCP-5896. Today we're making some tofu. Well, you knew that. You had to read the title to open this video, and you literally just saw me buy this shit, but why tofu? Well, it's cheaper than meat, but it's more expensive than beans, so if you made a little extra this month, go ahead and splurge. Plus, you can't fit a whole block in one pan, so you might as well just save half of it and stretch it into 2 meals, because Lord fucking knows there's no way you'd be able to afford this shit otherwise. Before we make the tofu though, we have to make some sauce. Put the nonstick pan you got from a Goodwill on the burner at medium heat to warm up. The tofu cooks way better if the pan's preheated. Make the tomato soup in the microwave because you can't afford to run 2 burners at once, and then transfer some of it over to a little sauce bowl thing you stole from a former roommate. It's going to take a while because you really don't want to waste any soup by pouring it with the bowl, but there's not enough of it to warrant a serving spoon, so you're going to be stuck using a dinner spoon from the cheap cutlery set that your parents bought you as a birthday present in an attempt to subtly tell you to move out. Pop open the Sambal Olek and spice that shit to taste. I usually use about half a tablespoon, but I'm also a complete and total fucking pansy, so make sure to actually taste this shit to make sure that the heat and flavor does in fact end up in the dish. Using what would otherwise be plain tomato soup as a sauce isn't inedible, but it's certainly not enjoyable, and you're watching a video with Tightest budget in the title, so I'm guessing you need all the hope you can get right now. Make it spicy. You need this. Pour in some soy sauce to add a bit of umami flavor, and make sure to cringe a bit when you use words like umami that are probably worth more linguistically than what we make in a day. Sprinkle in some salt out of the slightly chipped ramekin you found in a Michael's dumpster. Be careful not to spill your sauce when you do this next bit, but tilt it a bit to see whether or not the sauce is too thick. If it is, add a bit of water till it's about the consistency of McDonald's barbecue sauce. If you can't afford to buy anything so that the Mickey D's manager is willing to give you some sauce for free, try and steal some from the work fridge. There's seemingly always a museum of fast food sauces in there for some reason. Cut up your tofu into slices roughly the size of saltine crackers, then spray some non-stick shit into the pan and send those bad boys in after it. While the tofu heats up, go eat the remaining soup over the sink like a rat because you're too busy trying to get household chores done between 2 jobs and school that you can't really afford to waste any time. Once you're done scarfing down your shame soup, head back over to the stove and press on the tofu slices to squeeze out any extra moisture. You should definitely only use wooden or silicone tools in a Teflon pan, but I got this one at a Goodwill, so it's probably giving me cancer anyway. I got this spatula there too though, so at this point I'm probably just keeping the situation from getting any worse. Check in on your boys periodically and flip them all over once they're this golden brown color and a little bit crispy. Turn the heat down from medium-high to medium and repeat the process of squishing them. There's going to be a lot less moisture this time, so you'll be able to save precious calories of energy that you really can't afford to buy the food to replace. Once both sides are golden brown, crowd the tofu together, remove the pan from the heat, and pour the sauce all over those bitches. Spread it as evenly as you can with your thrift store spatula, and try to dance them around in the sauce to get as much coverage as possible. Using either the spatula or the chopsticks your rich classmate brought back for you from her trip to Japan in 8th grade, plate the tofu in the most aesthetically pleasing way you can manage on a $2 plate. And there you have it, tofu that looks like sad ravioli but tastes pretty goddamn delicious. And it only cost $1.73. Bon appetit, fuckers. Like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe and comment too so that YouTube will actually show my video to people and I can afford to buy more food later. If you have money yet you still watched this video for some reason, please consider becoming a patron so that I can afford to spend more than $1.73 on dinner. I'd like to especially thank Antonio Oliver for being part of the illustrious sunflower seed tier. Also, if you've got the money to spare, you're legally obligated to donate money to my GoFundMe campaign so that I can afford such lavish luxuries as doctor's visits, and medication. Anyways, that's all I got. Have a nice day and sit up straight in your chair. It's better for your back. Lord knows you can't afford back surgery in this country.